Good afternoon. Welcome to everyone watching live and to tuning in online later to the 2016-2017 Big Ideas Pre-Proposal Judges Training. On Wednesday, we received a record number of applications, over 320 from our 16 participating campuses. Its launch, Big Ideas designs creative, high-impact projects, many of which continue long after the competition. The goal of the contest is really to encourage students to get out there. Some of these students are just putting pen to paper for the first time. If you joined us as a final proposal judge, you will be reading applications that are much longer and much more detailed in length. So do keep this in mind as you're going through the judging, that there's going to be a wide variety of scope and quality. To the final proposal judges training, we'll be thinking about the viability of a business plan, which is 10 to 15 pages. So I also want to take this opportunity just to thank you. This contest wouldn't be possible without you. The student participants, as well as myself and the Big Ideas team, we truly appreciate your dedication and support. For those of you that I haven't met, my name is Juno Fitzpatrick, and I am the Judge and Mentor Coordinator for Big Ideas this year. If you have judged previously, then this should be a review for you. If you are new, then I'm looking forward to walking you through the process. And right now, I'm just going to share my screen with you and show you a presentation. So just bear with me. Throughout the training, if you have any questions, please email bigideas@berkeley.edu. For those watching the recording, you're welcome to email me directly at juno.fitzpatrick@berkeley.edu. So let's get started. So firstly, a quick overview of Big Ideas. Big Ideas started in 2005. It's an annual innovation contest where students submit ideas that address social challenges. The focus, unlike a lot of other contests, is on ideation and innovation. Our applicant groups range from students who are putting their ideas on paper for the first time to ventures who are further along in the development of their projects. 9 categories that students can compete in. This is art and social change, energy and resource alternatives, financial inclusion, food systems, global health, hardware for good, improving student life, information technology for society, and finally, scaling up big ideas. For the scaling up big ideas category, this is open to past winners looking to scale up and grow their ventures. The judge will only be asked to review 8 to 10 proposals in each category. So what have past winners done? Here's an example of a couple of previous projects. So we looked at engineered water purification systems, assisted with diagnosing malaria in remote villages using cell phones, and developed an interactive online platform for financial literacy for entering university students. So we have a chance to hear some success stories, and I'm just going to play this short video.
What makes an idea big?
I think what makes an idea big is that it goes outside the normal boundaries.
I think what makes an idea big is its potential for its impact in the community.
It's novel, it's unique, it's challenging, it's exciting.
The Big Ideas program seed funds and encourages student innovation for a better planet.
Undergraduate students are really recognized as producing innovative, cutting-edge ideas.
You know, it doesn't take a lot of money. It doesn't take a lot of, it doesn't take a 5-year PhD research project in order to do some of these things.
I heard about the Big Ideas program and it was brought to our attention as a group, and we thought, hey, this would be a really great opportunity to kind of get the word out about our projects and see if we can get some support.
And it ends up being much more than a grant because it gives you that confidence to go forward. The fact that there's other people in the room and other people at Cal that are reviewing this and thinking, hey, you should go for this.
Having it was like one of the best things for our project. It really got us off the ground at a point where we needed that extra inspiration.
Yeah, knowing that the campus is supporting projects like this and that you have access to these resources has been very instrumental.
Just the fact that big ideas existed and seemed willing to fund a project like this gave us hope, because our budget for dental is actually like under $200 a semester. And we saved the residents of Berkeley like probably $50,000 to $100,000 just through the services we have.
Capitalize on the creativity of the students. Don't tell them the solution. Give them the opportunity and let them come up with creative ideas.
We should disabuse ourselves of the idea that all smarts are with the professors. Students are just as smart, they're just younger, that's all.
We created a business plan for big ideas. So it really gave us that push to really follow through on this and give up our investment banking and consulting offers that we had. And as soon as we got the news that we had gotten the grant, I think that's the first time we said, hey, let's give up what we were doing and let's follow our passion.
The power of the small grant is that it allows students to experiment earlier in their lives. They don't need to wait to complete a PhD and get a faculty appointment to try something new. I think that's very important. Otherwise, we waste a whole kind of generation just waiting for the credentials to do something they have some capacity to do earlier.
What makes an idea big?
I think what makes an idea big is that it goes outside normal boundaries and it really kind of surpasses what was already there and sets a precedent for something new.
So why are judges important to us? One of the greatest contributing factors to the success of big ideas is the network of multi-talented judges and mentors who support the contest. Each year, hundreds of energetic and experienced industry leaders and professionals make it possible to identify and support the most promising ideas. Judges have the opportunity to get a first glance at the next generation of innovative ideas and provide feedback to help shape and improve them. They also become part of the Big Ideas Network, which includes opportunities to meet and gain exposure to other industry leaders in social innovation. So let's have a quick overview of the contest itself, starting initially with the timeline. So Big Ideas is a year-long contest starting in the fall semester. Students work hard all semester attending a number of networking events to build teams. Students submitted their pre-proposals on Wednesday, November 16th. The judges' period for pre-proposals is November 18th to December the 8th. And just to reiterate, the judging feedback is due no later than Thursday, December the 8th, 2016. After the pre-proposal phase, we then move on to the full proposal phase. This consists of a 6-week mentorship period for finalists. Teams then put together a 10 to 15 page full proposal and submit those on March the 9th. In mid-April, teams are notified of awards. There are several other events where teams are able to apply for more funding. There's the People's Choice Video Contest in April, the Grand Prize Pitch Day event, and this is a very fun event and gives promising teams opportunities to pitch. On May the 3rd, we have an award celebration where teams in the Big Ideas Network celebrate the year and learn more about these ideas. We really look forward to meeting those of you who are local to the Bay at these events. So we've received over 320 applications, the most we've ever received. So how do we narrow this down? We're soliciting your support to then narrow down this selection to 6 to 9 finalists for each category. From the finalist pool, between 4 to 6 award winners will be selected in each category. This year, we have up to $300,000 to award to teams. The max award is $10,000 with an average of around $5,500 with winners taking home. So let's take a look at the elements of the pre-proposal. The pre-proposal is 3 pages in length. If you're judging the scaling up category, these proposals are 4 pages in length as they include the past progress statement, which is an additional 1 page. The proposals are free format, meaning that they have to include all of the content we're about to discuss, but it doesn't need to be in any specific format. So that might include images, diagrams, graphs. Each proposal might have different section names, but as I said, the same content should be incorporated. Proposals are arranged by title in the Wise Hive platform. You will receive project summaries. This includes a 50-word elevator pitch and a 150-word summary. This is what teams have approved for us to share publicly. Although judges are only responsible for a subset of proposals in the category they are judging in, you will also be sent a document with 150-word summaries of all proposals in your category by Monday, in order for you to get a feel of what kind of ideas of projects are in your specific track. So just to reiterate, these summaries are what teams have agreed to share publicly. Although the 3-page proposal should be kept confidential, these summaries can be shared. So now let's think about the problem statement. Teams should be conveying background data and evidence on the needs they are addressing. This includes research or statistics on the problem or community. And we're really looking for teams to demonstrate that they understand the market that they're entering. Teams should also demonstrate that they have done adequate landscape research on the problem they are addressing, including existing solutions to this problem. In addition to providing an overview of the current services and programs that address the need that they have identified, teams should also include here the limitations of these approaches and the gaps that remain. Now, the proposed innovation. Proposals should include some form of project description, including the impact that they hope to have and why it is different than current existing solutions to the problem they've identified. In this section, teams were asked to briefly describe the first year of implementation of their project, but are not required to describe their implementation plan beyond that first year. This section should also include a brief explanation of how the teams will address possible implementation challenges. An important note here that I'd really like to emphasize is that in the first round, we're really looking at creativity and innovation rather than viability and implementation at this stage. And finally, the team bios. This needs to include brief bios of each of the team members' areas of expertise and accomplishments in relation to the field or sector that they will be working in. This section needs to demonstrate to the judges that they've identified the necessary skills to implement their project. Now let's think through the judging criteria. As I've mentioned before, the #1 criteria in this round is innovation. This related to the extent to which the idea is novel, innovative, or creative in addressing the problem the team has identified. As the slide indicates, this is worth 40% of the team's final score. The second criteria is the project's potential for impact. This is worth 20% of the team's final score and related to the extent to which the problem is well defined, and the extent to which it will be addressed by the proposed innovation. So teams should be providing sufficient statistics and research for the reader to understand the problem. Next is viability. And this section is worth 15%. And because, as I mentioned, the implementation side of the proposal is not the focus on this first round, but more a focus on the final round, This criteria relates to how feasible the project is, considering the team's expertise to understand the market and the community needs. Also worth 15% is the category challenge. Each category will have a specific question relating to how relevant the proposal is to the category it is competing under. So for scaling up categories, this question will relate to the progress made thus far towards the previous project. And finally is the overall quality of the proposal. So this is worth 10%. This relates to the extent to which the proposal is professional, persuasive, well-written, and generally well-organized and of high merit. Please note that the judging platform will take care of this weighing for you. I'll talk a bit more about that when we get to the judging platform section of the training. Now, moving on to the online judging platform on WiseHive. You can find PDF instructions on how to use the platform in the judging handbook, and that is on the judges pages of our website. This is bigideas.berkeley.edu/judges. After this training, I'll also be circulating the manual for you, so you'll have a PDF copy. You can also get to this page by hovering over support and clicking on judges. Just to reiterate, bigideas.berkeley.edu/judges. So when you click on the link that I'll share with you, you'll be taken to the login page. Your username will be your email address, and we'll send you a password after this training. When you've logged on, you will be taken to the landing page, where you will see your assigned list of proposals organized by name. The top indicates the category label. So in this example, it is improving student life. You select an application by clicking on the applicant name or the green review button. So this then takes you to the 50-word pitch and the 150-word summary of the pre-proposal overview. To view the pre-proposal, click on the pre-proposal tab. You can view and download proposals via the save function. Make sure to keep this confidential. I really can't stress that enough. Proposal, click on Add Review. This is where you're taken to the judge's scorecard. So we ask you to answer each question in the review form with the drop-down boxes provided, and provide detailed feedback in each text box. So scorecards include a mix of multiple choice and opportunities for detailed qualitative feedback. This is invaluable and anonymous. Before you begin reviewing, you must agree to the private policy at the top of the page and select your category from the drop-down menu. And highlighted in bold here, please make sure that the category you select matches the label on the category tab above. So I emailed around your final category assignment, so do get in contact if there's any issue there. So to complete your review, click on Submit. You can click Save Draft to save your progress and return at any point. You can move on to your next review using the navigation options at the top of the page. You can choose Next or Return to Listings. So ensure you click Submit when you've finished your review. You've completed the review process when all the entries on the main page change from a green review box to a red Done box. So moving on to some other notes and kind of key frequently asked questions. If you know students or projects you are assigned to and feel that this could result in a conflict of interest, please let us know. If you'd like to reach out to students, please do so only through us to respect confidentiality. As I've said, there is a 3-page limit. Please don't consider anything beyond that. Additional resources are optional and references do not count in this limit. Again, if you're judging the scaling up category, this will be a 4-page limit. So some of you have already confirmed that you will be joining us as a return judge. You will be invited to continue as judges or mentors in the final round if you are interested. We'd love to welcome you to all of our events. So if you have any questions, you can either email me, juno.fitzpatrick@berkeley.edu, or bigideas@berkeley.edu. If you have any questions or queries during the judging period, you can also contact us on 510-666-9210. So that completes the presentation portion of the training. I'm gonna now share my screen with you. And we're back. Hello, everyone. So throughout the training, a couple of people have been emailing in with a couple of key questions that I'm just going to go over now. So the first one is, what if the proposal does not fit within the category? Okay, so in this instance, within your judge's scorecard, one of the questions is to explain, how well do you think that this proposal fits within the specified category? So you have discretion here that if you do not think it's aligned within the category, you can populate that cell with that response. Okay, question 2. So what if the project already exists? So you need to remember that this is a learning process for students. This is an educational process for them. And so within your feedback, you can share links to recommended organizations or resources if you feel that this is a kind of duplication of efforts in that space. Next question is, what should I do if a team submitted a proposal that is longer than the required page limit? So we've covered this briefly in the training, but we introduced this 3-page limit so we have some kind of equity across the proposals. So we expect you to read up to the maximum page limit for each proposal. So for scaling up, that's 4, and for the other categories, that is 3. You should really be judging the information based on what is in this 3 pages. You can ensure that the references, they can be beyond the 3 pages and you don't need to review them. More question coming in? Once I begin entering scores on the judging rubric page on WiseHive, can I save my work and return to the page later to finish scoring? Yes, so as we said in the training, you can click on the bar that says Save Draft, and that way you can kind of return to your scorecard at any point during the review period. Final question, when are my scores and feedback due? So excellent, judges' scores and feedback are due on December the 8th. It's really important that we respect this deadline so that we can alert finalists and they can prepare over the winter period for the spring semester, where we'll then enter into the mentoring and final proposal round. We have another email coming in. What if I want to get in touch with the teams or serve as a mentor for a team? So we understand that as you're reviewing these proposals, this might really excite you and you want to follow this project forward. But we ask you not to contact the teams directly. Please contact bigideas@berkeley.edu or myself, and we can facilitate an introduction, or if you have any interest in acting as a mentor for these students. Our questions for today. If you're watching this later, please email me with any questions. I'm going to shortly circulate an email which will have your login information, which is the email address that you've shared with us, plus your passwords. I will also circulate a PDF manual of the judges' handbook, which gives kind of a PDF hard copy of what we've discussed today. Please reach out if you have any concerns over the judging period, and I really look forward to hopefully meeting you in the spring if you're local at one of our networking events, or please do call and I'll happily support in any way that I can. Okay, thank you. Have a lovely rest of your day.